Everybody's hands. Hands.
December 13th, 2025, one of the most peaceful university campuses in the United States suddenly turned into a deadly crime scene. Gunfire erupted at Brown University, a place meant to be filled with students, lecture halls, and final exams. But within just a few minutes, everything collapsed. 2 people were killed at the scene. At least 8 other victims are fighting for their lives in critical condition. According to Reuters, this was not a random act, but an unprecedented security shock that has shaken the entire U.S. education system. Even more chilling to the public is the fact that the shooter acted in broad daylight, right on a university campus. The shooter acted deliberately, not impulsively. He targeted Brown University's Baruch and Hawley Engineering Building at the exact time exams were taking place. Inside, students were focused on their tests. Outside, campus life appeared normal. Within minutes, order completely unraveled. Gunfire sent waves of panic through the corridors. Some managed to flee. Others were unable to escape and became trapped inside the building. At 4:22 p.m. local time, the university issued an emergency alert, confirming an active shooting near the Baruch and Hawley Engineering Complex. This corresponds to 9:22 p.m. GMT. Shortly thereafter, the central campus was placed under lockdown. Security forces and police were deployed at the highest level of alert. All academic activities were immediately suspended. In the initial phase, there was no confirmation of the suspect's identity, no clarity on whether he acted alone or with accomplices, and no certainty that the threat had been fully neutralized. During that time, hundreds of students were forced to shelter in place as the entire Brown University campus entered a rare and tense state of emergency. By Monday, authorities expanded the investigation and released images and video footage of a new person of interest. The individual is described as approximately 5 feet 8 inches tall, approximately 1.73 meters, with a muscular build appearing in material extracted from surveillance cameras and citizen-provided video. The release came amid concerns that the threat may not have been fully eliminated, prompting investigators to widen the search beyond the university campus. At the same time, a $50,000 reward was announced for any credible information leading to the arrest and conviction of those involved.
We are also here to announce the FBI is now offering a reward of $50,000 for information that can lead to the identification, the arrest, and the conviction of the individual responsible, who we believe to be armed and dangerous.
Officials urged the public to remain vigilant as the investigation entered a critical phase, one in which even the smallest lead could determine the outcome of one of the most shocking incidents in the United States at the end of 2025. The released images show an individual dressed in dark clothing, with his face concealed by a mask. His identity remains unconfirmed, but his physical characteristics and movement patterns have become the focus of analysis. According to law enforcement specialists, the individual's gait and stride appear stable and distinctive, recognizable enough that someone familiar with him could potentially identify him. This detail is considered a crucial lead, particularly as investigators expand their search beyond the Brown University campus. The new information surfaced shortly after a previously suspected individual was released. That decision quickly triggered anxiety and concern among students and faculty, as the threat had not yet been fully clarified. For many at Brown, the incident is not truly over. It has merely entered a new phase, quieter but no less tense. Police confirmed that the suspect had been present in the area since approximately 10 a.m. on Saturday, several hours before the shooting occurred shortly after 4 p.m. This time window is now viewed as a key element of the investigation. Authorities believe the suspect may have conducted prior surveillance of the campus, observing daily routines, foot traffic density, and the timing of ongoing examinations. Even so, the suspect's identity has not yet been established. The manhunt remains largely based on exterior footage of the building and data collected from the surrounding area. Rhode Island officials also clarified a detail that has raised many questions. There is no surveillance footage inside the Baruch and Hawley building capturing the suspect. According to police, no video exists showing the individual inside the facility at the time of the incident. This has made efforts to reconstruct the suspect's movements and actions significantly more complex, while also raising concerns about security gaps in an area long regarded as exceptionally safe. As of now, the shooting remains an open investigation with many critical details still unresolved. Rhode Island authorities confirmed that the shooting occurred in an older section behind the building, where surveillance camera coverage is limited. This is considered one of the key factors that hindered early efforts to track the suspect. During the chaos, students moved toward newer sections of the building where camera coverage is denser. Footage collected from those areas has since become the primary source of data for investigators. Authorities stated that all video footage deemed to most clearly depict the suspect has already been released, and that no additional visual material of sufficient value is available for public release at this time.
Still out there as we speak, there's people out there, there's detectives out there, there's task force officers. We're trying to figure out what other locations we can find, but we haven't found anything else. But we're knocking on doors and making sure, and that's why I'm putting out the call to the public to assist us. If you happen to be within that box that borders exactly where we want you to look, then that's exactly why we're here.
The investigation continues with a focus on closing remaining gaps in the sequence of events and determining the suspect's exact identity and motive. Meanwhile, the city of Providence has reported no credible threats targeting the Brown University campus or the surrounding urban area that are directly linked to the incident. Nonetheless, a heightened state of alert remains in place as students, faculty, and local residents continue to await final conclusions from investigators. Brown University officials are urging anyone who was present at Barris and Holly Hall on the day of the shooting to come forward and assist investigators.
Yesterday I mentioned that we need the public's assistance to check their camera systems or any sort of video that you may have that could be helpful to us, that you, as you're watching it or as you're reviewing it, you feel there may be something that we can use. Please notify us. And if you need any help with that, viewing those videos, please also call us. We can come over and help you.
Information regarding locations, timing, or any unusual details, no matter how minor, is considered valuable in the ongoing effort to identify the suspect. The university has also reaffirmed that campus security remains its top priority at this stage.
We are cooperating fully with law enforcement, and again, we thank the multiple agencies that have been working so hard day and night with increased patrols to keep our campus safe and to investigate this horrific shooting.
According to official statements, rumors circulating about additional intruders or further acts of violence on or around campus are unfounded. Police said they have received several calls reporting alleged threats, but all have been verified as not credible. In addition, the university has noted an increase in false emergency reports, commonly referred to as swatting, which has placed added strain on emergency response teams. In response, Brown University has implemented additional safety measures, including increased security personnel on campus and tighter access controls for university buildings. These measures have been described as preventive and temporary, aimed at stabilizing the situation and ensuring the safety of students and staff while the investigation continues. The impact of the shooting has extended beyond the crime scene itself. Within the Brown University community, a sense of safety has been noticeably eroded, particularly after reports that an initial suspect was released from custody. Some students have said they no longer feel secure returning to campus, as the search for the perpetrator continues and key details remain unclear. These concerns are especially pronounced among those who studied or worked directly in the Barris and Holly building, where the attack over the weekend left 2 people dead. Among them is a doctoral engineering student who currently works in the building's basement level. At the time of the shooting, she was not on campus, but said the sense of unease has lingered, particularly when considering the prospect of returning to a familiar workspace now associated with violence. The incident also triggered memories of past trauma. The female doctoral researcher had previously experienced a mass shooting at the University of North Carolina in 2023, when she was forced to barricade herself inside a laboratory for hours, while a professor was killed in a nearby building. The parallels between the 2 violent incidents at major educational institutions have raised deeper questions about campus safety, not only at Brown, but across the United States. When asked whether the city administration had discussed the alarm system with Brown University, the mayor of Providence redirected responsibility for an explanation to the university. Notably, Brown University did not send a representative to the Monday evening press conference, where authorities released new images related to the suspect. In that context, city officials emphasized the police response, asserting that officers were deployed rapidly and appropriately after the first emergency call reporting the attack. The identities of the deceased victims have been confirmed. Muhammad Aziz Umarzokov, 18, a student from the state of Virginia, was one of the two individuals killed. According to his family and community fundraising efforts, Umarzokov was remembered as kind, intelligent, and deeply compassionate toward others. He had dreamed of becoming a neurosurgeon, aspiring to pursue medicine in order to serve his community. The tragedy has also reverberated beyond the United States. The government of Uzbekistan confirmed that it is closely monitoring developments and expressed condolences over the loss of a young life taken by violence. The second victim was Ella Cook, 19, from Mountain Brook, Alabama. She was described by her local religious community as an active participant and a positive influence among her peers. At Brown University, Cook served as vice president of the College Republicans, a role considered uncommon in an academic environment often characterized by liberal leanings. She was regarded as someone willing to step forward and assume leadership responsibilities despite pressure and ideological differences on campus. The deaths of two young students from different backgrounds and life paths have pushed the shooting beyond the scope of a security incident, turning it into a profound loss for families, the student community, and society at large. Brown University is one of the most prestigious institutions of higher education in the United States, a member of the Ivy League. Located on College Hill in the city of Providence, the capital of Rhode Island, its campus spans hundreds of buildings, including lecture halls, laboratories, libraries, and residential dormitories, interwoven directly with surrounding residential neighborhoods. It is an open environment where students, faculty, and local residents regularly move through shared spaces. The Ivy League is the collective name for 8 elite private universities in the United States, distinguished by academic excellence, long institutional histories, and far-reaching political, economic, and social influence. Their alumni networks include senior leaders, policymakers, and globally influential figures. Because of this stature, any security incident at Brown University is not merely an internal matter for one institution, but a development that draws national attention and raises serious questions about safety at America's most elite educational institutions. As of now, the investigation into the shooting at Brown University remains ongoing, with authorities focused on identifying the suspect, reconstructing his movements before and after the attack, and addressing remaining security gaps within the campus. As law enforcement expands the manhunt, the university is simultaneously facing mounting pressure to account for its warning systems, surveillance measures, and emergency response capabilities at an elite American educational institution. The incident has left consequences far beyond the casualty count, eroding the sense of safety among students, faculty, and the local community, while reigniting persistent concerns over gun violence in academic environments. At an institution symbolic of knowledge, influence, and soft power like Brown University, the questions now extend beyond the pursuit of the attacker. They center on whether the existing system is truly capable of protecting those within it. As justice for the victim still lies ahead, the entire United States is watching closely as the case unfolds into what is widely seen as a severe stress test for campus security at the nation's leading universities.